Welcome back to Adobe Live. Adobe Live, live from OFF in Barcelona. And for the next 25 minutes, I'm here with Charis Tsevis, who came all the way from the beautiful and sunny island of Cyprus to join us here at OFF. He was part of my keynote yesterday, and basically I've known Charis for
many years.
For many years. I've been following his art.
Let's not say how many.
No, let's not say how many, but I was always fascinated by his art, and especially, and I think this is something we should talk about, is how the art evolved over time. And let's have a quick look at your website as well, like while we're talking about it, and introduce yourself.
Okay.
He designs from the sunny side of the world, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's my favorite line. I'm using this line as my bio. So, Kalispera, good evening everybody. Or
is it Kalispera already?
It's Kalispera, yes.
It's
yes.
afternoon, it becomes Kalispera?
And it's buenas tardes
Buenas tardes.
here. Buenas noches.
Noches is night.
Yeah, okay. Buenas whatever. And okay, what do you want to show to the
talk to us
friends?
a little bit about how you started in the...
I started many years ago, and I was trained as back in the late 80s, early 90s as a graphic designer, initially in Athens, then in Milan, in Italy. I followed very closely the Gestalt movement because I was going to a school that were religiously dedicated to Gestalt, and it really helped me. So something that if our audience doesn't know Gestalt, guys, go search about it. It's really useful. And for many years, I was working mostly in editorial field, magazines, books, a lot of editorial. I loved editorial. I loved magazine, newspapers, all these printed things. And from the early zeros, I moved, obviously I went online very quickly in the middle 90s, and slowly my work changed because I went closer to a new market that was the online market, the international market, and I became mostly what we could call a hired gun for digital illustration, digital art, digital design, or a mix of all of this. And this is what I'm doing the last 15 years.
And let's start from the beginning, no? Like, is this portfolio in a chronological order?
Yes, it is, mostly. So
let's, oh, wow, no. Oh,
if we
here we go.
If we go all the way down.
All the way down. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay.
We can show some things, some very old things.
Okay. So
like
you choose whatever you want to talk about.
let's show this thing because I owe a lot to Apple, Steve Jobs. Look, I was an Apple fanboy. I was really following Steve Jobs as a personality. I really liked his ideas, even in the dark days of the 80s. I mean, even when he was out of Apple, etc. I liked the guy. Never identifying with him. I mean, I wasn't believing that he was the perfect person, but I believe that he had many great ideas, especially in go-to-market strategies. And I was thinking that some of his corporate ideas could be useful to me as a designer somehow, because he was talking about how you can combine liberal arts and technology, science and arts, and I really like these things. So I was following some of his advices, some of his ideas, and I was, while I was experimenting with complex images, I was using his image as my main subject. And in 2007, something unique happened. Actually, it was Diana Lowe, the art director back then of Fortune magazine, who asked me for the first time, who commissioned me this job. So I created, I remember, 2 portraits, one in black and one in white, Fortune has chosen the black one, but also the white one. The white one had probably a great success. It went viral in many places in the world. So it gave me a new career, a completely new career. Obviously, and this is if we want to be useful to our audience. Success is very nice, it's very sweet, but success could also mislead sometimes, because when some success happens, you can probably believe that you made it forever, that you are such a great person, etc. And success cannot last. I mean, Rufus, whatever you are doing, even if you have progressed a lot, the others are going to reach you. The others are going to follow you, copy you.
And you know, I always think about the meaning of the word success, and I always bring it back to its origin. And success comes from the Latin of the things that have happened to bring to a specific point, right? So success is never overnight, as far as I can tell. Sometimes it happens, but that's very lucky. But success is the whole...
So a message to the young people is, I wasn't 40 yet, but it was 38, something like that. So it's good for the young people to be patient, if they can. I know it's difficult, I know, but come on, they have a lot of time in front of them. So guys, be patient, do what you love, and then don't try to have success, because this wasn't my goal. My goal was to do what I love to do. And it really... I was feeling so full of this thing. So I'm gonna improve. I'm gonna keep on experimenting. I'm gonna keep on trying to find new things, and not just repeating myself. And then my main goal became being mostly happy, Rufus, because we're living. We are human beings. We're having a life to live. And having a lot of success, clients, money, all these things, it's not bad, obviously, and it helps. Let's not underappreciate it. This is not the meaning of life, and it cannot really support you in the long run. You need other things to live, and what I liked mostly is waking up in the morning and looking forward to my day ahead and want to live that day. That was the most important
thing. And you know,
thing.
and this Steve Jobs example is a perfect example. It's something that you did out of a passion project, and suddenly it became something that people actually wanted. And let's get into a little bit about how this then evolved over the years, because your style, of course, you know, it started with these images made out of tessellation. Is that the right word? Tessellation?
Yeah, tessellation is a good word. Symmetry, mosaics, and let's say complex and synthetic images are there since the ancient times. And what is nice about them is that they are simulating how nature is, because nature is a complex composition of groups of things. And inside there are other groups of things and other groups of things. So atoms and all this biological or physical theories. So it's amazing that I'm using this idea single day, and it's amazing how this thing never ends. Of course, if you're not just repeating the same things and the same ideas. Because there are some ideas here. For example, I was probably the first, at least in the digital space, who was using variable sized tiles. Till then, everyone was using the same size. So I changed it. I emulated some algorithms of compression, some JPEG algorithms, and it was a good idea. And then I understood that I could take it to the next level. For example, not just altering sizes, but altering angles, rotations, grids, using other grid systems. Like, for example, here I'm using maps. as my grid system.
Yep.
I have experimented, what I have done. Let's go to another one.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
And
let me just get rid of this here. There we go.
so I was, I wanted to, but this time as a cubist or a futurist, and this work has been made for
there
Time
are
magazine.
some issues with the internet right now.
Yeah.
I always say that talent comes from all the things that I've heard, that I've seen, that I've read, that I've listened to, and that then allow you to create something new.
If a war will happen next year, but what we know that next year we're gonna have the Olympiad in Paris. So Paris, French culture, and related to sports is going to be trendy. So we have 1 year from now to be prepared for that. If we like sports, if we like the idea of working for the industry of sports. I personally like it a lot because it has a lot of things that I like other than sports, traditions, identities, things like that. Let's say that you love cinema. You know that the Oscars are coming. Or if you love music, you know that a specific festival, Coachella is coming, or the Eurovision Song Contest is coming. So if you, whatever you love, there are events that are planned, and 99% are gonna be, okay? Sometimes like the Tokyo Olympics is not happening, but this is very rare. So usually some things are happening. So I have a plan. Today I also have a plan for the next 8, 10 years with all these events, and I'm cherry picking the events that I love, that I like, that I'm finding interesting. And I'm going and I'm studying these cultures and these keywords, even as keywords. And I'm finding great ideas and great points to start projects. And you know what's happening, Rufus? It's always repeating this thing. When the event is approaching or when the event is happening, there is always a client who is coming and commission me for something paid this time. But I'm working a lot without being paid. I'm working a lot with experimental projects.
But you're investing in the future.
Exactly.
And I think being ready with you made the example of Paris Olympics, being ready with a whole bunch of images for the Paris Olympics months ahead of time makes you ready for when it happens, because everybody else will be creating images while it's happening, because that's when the demand is high. But agencies looking for artwork, they will find you because you already have thousands of views on them.
And also,
and things like
there
that.
is another aspect of this thing, of this idea. I have mentioned you that the first, let's say, 10, 15 years of my career, I was the typical graphic designer. What the typical graphic designer is doing is he has a brief, he tries to analyze this brief and comes with proposals, and then the client is influencing a lot his work, and sometimes clients are killing our work. It happens many times. So if you work the other way around, if you, instead of having a client, having a brief and then coming with solutions, if you come with solutions before the client, then the client is coming and taking your solution. He wants what you have already created, and that's incredible.
And with these wise words, Charis, we're finished. Our session is over, but stay tuned because we're going to be right back in 5 minutes with another fantastic guest on Adobe live from OFF in Barcelona. So stay tuned. Charis, thank you so much. Come on.
Thank you, Rufus.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Gracias.
Goodbye.